I never quite understood the story of Unravel, and nor did I care. I took one look at the graphics and said, yes, I would like to play this. From what I can gather from the intro cinematic, an old woman is trying to remember her past. With the help of a magical piece of yarn, she slowly regains her memories by collecting mementos littered throughout areas she once visited in the past. At least I guess. Why did this piece of yarn come to life? Is it all in her mind? Is her mind unraveling? Are her memories tangled like a piece of yarn? And to remember her past, she needs to unravel her mind like this piece of yarn? Is she the yarn? Is it evil? I'm scared. Thankfully, the story isn't beat over your head in favor of the gameplay, as with most platformers with a message these days, like Never Alone, which in its own right had more emphasis on its message, and I learned quite a bit about their culture. Gameplay is very basic and doesn't do much to push the genre forward. Jump here, grab ledge there, grapple swing over the gap, and push some rocks and stuff to climb up large obstacles. Been there, done that. The gameplay feels like a vehicle to push forward their message, but in this case, at least for me, I didn't get the message. So the basic gameplay is all I can really care about. Though that's not to say that it's bad gameplay, it's just basic. Some puzzles require you to think about how to manipulate the environment, and since your yarn guy runs out of himself, you have to think about how much yarn guts you're using to solve the puzzle. You'll tie your yarn to nails and hooks to create trampolines and ramps to move objects or grapple swing to the next platform. Sometimes it mixes things up, like when you have to hold onto a kite and guide it as it flies through a forest of trees. But all in all, you've seen everything there is to do by the first level, and only the scenery changes. And that scenery is pretty stunning. You can tell there was a lot of care put into the graphics, as the textures, lighting, and animation are all top-notch, easily rivaling Pixar or DreamWorks production animations. There are lots of little touches put into the environment to give it that feeling of a lived-in world. Animals go about their daily routines, and human elements like trash cans and benches or old sheds and garages look worn down and used. You really start to wonder about the world you're walking through and what it means to the old woman. Unfortunately, once you do beat the level, all you're treated to is some pictures of people in that environment you were just in. Memories of the past, I guess. But why? Just because? I never finished this game, so I couldn't tell you if it was explained at the end. And it's not because of the gameplay or difficulty, it was the music. Oh boy, the music. On its own, the soundtrack blends very well with the scenery, and the emotion it wants to make you feel is achieved early on. Bright and cheerful music when it's sunny, and more ominous, somber tones when you're in darker areas. Where the music gets annoying, and maybe it's just me, you know when you're stuck in a puzzle and have no idea what to do or where to go? Or when you just can't quite catch a ledge or grappling hook, and you have to repeat the same level over and over while the music just chugs on relentlessly until it drones on and you finally put the speakers on mute because you just can't concentrate with it on? Yeah, it's like that. Easygoing music when everything is going right, but as soon as you hit a choke point, the music just gets in the way. Which isn't a fault of the soundtrack, but maybe it was a little too grandiose for a platformer. So what can I say about Unravel? As a platformer, it gets the job done, but only just. Its graphics are top-notch and really showcase what next gen is all about on consoles. And its story has a message about an old woman who is trying to remember her past through yarn. It's not a bad game by any means, and you'll have a great time enjoying yourself in the world that's created. It's just a very traditional platformer and doesn't do anything to really separate it from the rest. Is Unravel worth your time? Yes, but try to get it when it's on sale.